Well, welcome everybody. 505 interview series. We are back. Oh, nice little break had over the Christmas holiday. It was a lot of fun. Hope you guys all headed over to the Rumble page and saw some limited reviews that I did on holiday sticks. But I'm glad to be back. I have missed all of you guys, so it's going to be a fun time. Tonight, my guest is an entrepreneur, a veteran, and you know, one thing I'm totally interested in is the Mobile Cigar Lounge culture and the industry behind it. And you got one of the biggest mobile cigar lounges, just not in the country, but also there in the northeastern part of the United States. He is Joey Mack, the Smoking Panda, the Chief Smoking Officer, the CSO, and let's bring him on.
Whoa.
Joey Mack.
What's up, Daniel?
How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Dude, you are the hype man, bro. I was getting chills while you were going.
Oh, you don't have to lie to kick it here. You're already on the show.
Oh, it was good, bro.
Well, man, it's good to have you on. So I'm gonna get my cigar lit up. How about you let everybody know all about you and your business?
Yeah, I appreciate Daniel. So what's up, everybody? Joey Mack, aka the Smoking Panda, located in New Jersey. I'm the chief smoking officer for the Mobile Cigar Lounge. Completely veteran-owned and operated. Me and my two partners, Marine Corps and United States Army. So what we do is we bring the cigar and whiskey experience to your wedding, to your private party, nationally. And we absolutely love what we do. And Daniel, thank you so much for having us. It's always great to talk about what we do, and there's an amazing entrepreneurship group that's doing the same thing. So we love the community.
Wow, man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But thank you for coming on, man. So you said something there. You guys travel out nationally to put on events for people.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, we've been in 20 states and United States territories. So we travel as far west as Arizona, north as Maine, and as south as we've added it to the bucket list, St. Croix, the United States territory. So we were just down there this past week. So we've been traveling a lot.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So let's start back a little bit from the beginning. What gave you the idea, or you and your partners the idea to go, let's put together a mobile lounge and provide people with an experience of wonderful mouthful pleasures?
Yeah, I love that. So all of us, me and my business partner, and a lot of military and veterans. When I was overseas in Iraq in 08, 09, a lot of veterans would understand what smoke pit is. So if I explain it to everybody, it's basically like you take a circle, you could put sand pits around or sandbags around, and where people would go and congregate and smoke cigarettes, anything tobacco under the sun, right? And a lot of those times when I was overseas, we get shipped cigars to us. I wish I knew who it was. It could have been Cigar for Warriors. It could have been just awesome people, but it was kind of like an awesome thing because there was very few things that we had over there, right? But one of those few things kind of like drew together that camaraderie where we could just sit down, have a smoke, and just kind of take that break. Where even though in the outside there's a lot going on, in that little smoke pit, it's the brotherhood that I had with the fellow Marines. I think something that we say in the community, it's like I might not remember the cigar I smoked, but I'll always remember the people I smoked it with.
I agree.
And the biggest thing is we want to bring it to that event. Well, we want to bring it to your wedding, to your private party. That's a huge thing of why we create our business. Was we wanted to bring that experience directly to you.
To go back and touched on, as you said, the camaraderie, the smoking, especially after a day out on the battlefield, the heart, being deployed overseas, away from the family, a little bit of normalcy with the cigar. I've heard that from so many veterans out there that it's the one thing that can kind of give them a normalcy of being home is just smoking a cigar, whether they're a cigar smoker or not, just hanging out with the guys and just puffing away. And so thank you for your service, and thank you for letting me do what I do. This dumb show, you know.
It's not dumb. I appreciate you, bro. Right,
Wow, so that's cool. So when did you guys start your company up at?
yeah, so we started in September of 2018. That was like our first event that we've ever done, and I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was a good time.
Do you roll your own cigars at these events, or are they pre-rolled for you?
Yeah, so it's a mixture of both, right? So what happens is I always tell clients like, listen, I'm gonna have pre-rolled, ready to smoke, aged already, because I don't want that line building up, right? You don't want to be at your wedding and you want like, hey, can you have a live, super live cigar roller there? But you're gonna have a line of people. That's just gonna, you don't want that. So I bring aged, ready to smoke, and what we do is we love exhibiting the art of cigar rolling. So when people come over, we want to educate people. Again, and when was the last time we ever saw something made in front of us, right? Like, when I love, like, for example, I don't know if you like cooking or if you like some other stuff, like, seeing it from the raw product to the finished product is, like, awesome. And not a lot of people get to see what happens when this is made during that point. So,
I agree.
yeah.
I think that's super cool. So are you a roller yourself? Are your partners rollers as well, or do you outsource that out to somebody?
No, we're rollers ourselves, and then we train. So we
That's
hire
awesome.
veterans, first responders, and family members. So when they want to learn how to roll, like a lot of these are like avid cigar smokers and just want to learn more, I teach them and show them how to properly exhibit the art of cigar rolling.
That's awesome. Did you go to the Dominican or Nicaragua or Miami or Tampa and learn how to roll?
Yeah, so I went to one of those areas, right? And I actually sat down with somebody, Cuban guy, right? Didn't speak a lick of English. His name's Rolando, and for seven days, 7 to 8 hours a day, I was just pure rolling. Didn't speak English, bro, and I love that. That's good training, right? Like he was just like on top of me, and I love that. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so I was just there, just cranking out cigars, and it was fun, man. And then I remember the first cigar that I actually rolled and smoked. And listen, was it perfect? No. Was it something that was like, oh man, this is like a Padron? You know what I'm saying? But it was like an awesome experience just to roll it in front of your face.
So you bring the tobacco in. When you talk with your potential customers, do you get an idea of what kind of cigars they want? They want rolled, or do you just go, we can just do general standard?
Yeah. So for us, we keep it nice and simple, brother. You've been to weddings, right, Daniel?
Yes.
Oh, there's Steve. What's up, Steve?
What's up, Steve?
When you go to weddings and stuff, you're not gonna get your, like, we're smokers, right? You and I and Steve, we're smokers. A lot of people watching are smokers. The people who don't, who go to these weddings and private events, man, they just want to light up and have a great time. So we have this particular blend that we use. It's very nice. Been using it for 4 years now. People love it. It's a nice, mild, easy smoke. I use a Robusto size because, hey, man, you can smoke that thing in an hour, and guess what? You can smoke two in 2 hours. So it's a nice time for people just to relax, and they want something easy. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. Yeah, man, I like that a lot. Me, I'd have to think of an event. Well, let's see, it's me. You can do mild for everybody else. You bring me the extra aged, heavy pepper and spice balm rub. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want at the event. I want people to look at me with half of my face melted. Like, yeah, go ahead, retro this song. Go ahead.
Or you want half your guests just laying on the floor puking of all the Maduro cigars that they smoke.
I like that though. That's great. So you came up with your own blend, and I think that's learning. That's such a big experience. I've never rolled before, but I've had my hand in like coming up with blends just based upon what I know about tobacco and going, well, what would be good is if you put this with this with this with this.
Yeah.
But I've never actually tried to put it all together myself and blend it. Go, okay, a little bit, like you said, it's almost like cooking, little too much of this and it's ruined, not enough of this and it's ruined. So it's there's like that magic number that you really got to hit it.
And you know what, man? We're just paying homage to those that are that do that all the time. You and I have met some pretty amazing people, master blenders, master rollers, and man, they put together some incredible pieces of art. You know what I'm saying? So all we're doing is paying homage to those people because it's an incredible thing that not a lot of people get to see in their lifetime. Like they go to the store, they go to the lounge, bar, see someone smoking, but actually having someone roll to you, explain to you, touching the leaves, smelling the leaves, is a whole different experience.
Oh yeah, it's I don't think people, especially non-smokers and newer smokers, I don't think they understand a lot of the process or the details that go into making a cigar, and to stand by and just watch and go, oh wow, it's this, and then when you start learning more, it's like, okay, so you're using this style and you're doing this. Is this your preference, or is this just the way for this type of cigar that you roll it this way? And there's a lot that goes into it. You really are an artist.
Yeah, yeah. And we're actually going to Nicaragua in about a couple of weeks, and man, I just can't wait just to go to the factory and just watch people and men, women, and just doing the art, man. And you know what? The more you get more in depth there, because we understand. The more you get in depth with learning more about this is just, if you think about it, bro, it's just bundled leaves put together.
It's dead plant matter. That's all we're smoking.
It really is, right? But then when you look at the people, the passion behind a lot of the big names, the small names, the boutique names, the brands are growing. There's a lot of passion, hard work, and so much detail behind every cigar. So I love that stuff.
All right. So on top of your house blend, do you have other blends that you do as well?
Yeah. So we do have a Maduro just in case something won't replace it. We'll go. It's a little spicier, a little peppery for people that want to be able to enjoy that, right? And then we do have the groovy blues. People ask for them. So if people want some groovy cigarillo, groovy blues for the women. And we do have a chocolate blend that we just put out that we kind of outsource. So people give options, right? So
okay. So you've said you've ran out of 20 states and in the territories as well. Is it? Do you have to be licensed in each of those states to do this, or is it just because this is a special event and you're in and out? There's really nothing you got to worry about.
Yeah, special event in and out. We're coming out of New Jersey, so we make it happen. And a lot of people, traveling with my stuff, never been stopped once. So
okay,
I always go, to New Jersey. Some of us have a lot of tobacco tax. I pay my taxes. I'm good. Those are paid for.
One of my favorite viewers, Mr. Benjamin. Well, Ben, I missed you, man. It's been a long month. I'm glad to see you back up in the chat, man.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Ben.
Happy New Year, Ben. Yeah, I know. And, of course, I live in a state that, has, tobacco tax.
I hate you. All right, that was cool, guys.
Yeah, zero. Yeah, because you pay the tobacco. The tax is paid when it comes in, but in retail shops, there's no excess tax coming in. So, I just pay this. I just pay the sales tax.
Yeah.
Whatever, the 6.5% sales tax.
Yeah,
zero. Like friends always say, hey, if you see these cigars, let me know, and I always take pictures. I go, here they are, here's the price, and then before I can even respond back with a text, I was like, you want some? I get a notification from Cash App or Venmo there that it's like, yeah, no, I want them.
Yeah. No, I hate it, bro. It's definitely in those states that have like 0%. It happens.
Maybe you covered this earlier and I didn't hear, but even Steve here asked the question: how big is your team?
Yeah, we have about like 65 plus. So we have eight core members, or pretty much have a sales team, like basically a concierge team that takes care of our clients, right? And then we have about 55 plus field members that go out and actually do that.
Wow, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
you sit back with your feet up in the chair and outsource out everything.
Not yet, not that point. You know,
Okay.
I'm still hustling, and grinding, bro.
You pick and choose which ones you want to go to. Which ones look cool? All
Yeah,
right, the Italian wedding. Yeah, I'm going to that one because the food's gonna be good.
uh,
And
and the people are awesome, but
the people are awesome. You can have the English wedding.
yeah, they're cool.
Anthony, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Glad to see you popping in.
So what's up, Anthony?
Yeah, that's super cool, man. I could. You've really piqued my interest on this. Like, I just want to have one just to come to the house and just roll a little bit for me.
Yeah,
And go, hey, just come in for a few hours, roll me a bunch of sticks, and then you're gone. That's my own personalized roller.
yeah, yeah. You know, man, it's when we travel out of state or even like in New Jersey, people just love it. You know, the aurora, the kind of like the enchantment of just having someone there. I think it's super
Let's
awesome.
see, from Ben here. I've been doing a mobile cigar lounge for years. A fistful of cigar thermals full of old fashions. My wife smoking a joint. I'm watching her seeing eye dog get stoned crushing.
Cruising.
Oh, cruising. He types so much it got small, and I'm old and my eyes don't work like the way they used to. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
just about last year, we have a big team. Because last year we did around almost close to 1,100 events for the whole year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to see you're out, and so you also dabble in the spirit world as well as part of the event. Now, is that part of what you get with you, or is that something additional?
Yeah, it's something additional.
Okay.
Spirits and cigars go hand in hand together. Rum, bourbon, scotch, and we have like, we call them whiskey ambassadors that go out, and we have a live taste testing at your house. And people freaking love it. And they get both experiences at once. Which is great.
So you also do specialized pairing events as well, on top of just doing the general birthday party, wedding type parties.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. And those are fun. What the whole thing I love about our business is we're just educating more and more people and bringing them over to the dark side. We want to see them at lounges, and that's what we do a lot as a business. Is I love supporting our local lounges because I don't have a place to go and smoke other than my backyard or go to these lounges. So I'm like, hey, in Jersey, I'm like, hey, where you at? Where do you live? Hey, there's a great lounge. Here's the owner. Good guys. Go have a smoke there. If you want to have a smoke with me, let's go meet over there and have a smoke. So it's just like educating more and more people and bringing them to that culture and to that side. I think is the most important part.
Yeah, that's the thing, kind of in a highly concentrated area of people, like there in the Northeast where you're at, is you've got a lot of options for going and smoking, a lot of great lounges. As you kind of get further out west, like where I'm at, I've got to travel if I want that type of experience. And not saying that's a bad thing. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, do I wish that there was, lounges closer to me? Yeah. But, I ended up, like I built this to make this a lounge. So, hang out here, big TV on the wall, couches, plenty of cigars. So, I kind of, since I don't have one remotely close, I built one myself.
Nice. No, it looks great. Yeah, even people like that. I wish I could have something like that in my house too. But it forces me to go out and see other people, meet other people. So totally get it.
You're better men than me.
No, you're good.
That's cool. So how long were you active military for?
Yeah. So I was going to college at the same time. So when I went to a private military school up in Vermont, Premier University. So I was doing naval ROTC. At that same time, I was in the reserve for the Marine Corps here in New Jersey. So I would travel back once a month, but we got deployed to Norway, Mongolia, and then Iraq in 0809. So from 2005 to 2011, 6 years.
Super cool, man. That's super cool.
And you know what, man? Hearing those stories, I have one good friend of mine. He actually had a Cuban guy as part of his squad over in Fallujah in Iraq, and he told me every time, like his family would send him cigars, whether it's Cuban or not, they would send him cigars, but every time they got done with the patrol during that day at nighttime, they would smoke a cigar. And for them, it kind of like, for him, it's like, it's a remembrance that he's alive. Like he made it through that patrol. So every time he had a cigar, and I love just telling the story because there's hundreds, thousands of veterans, first responders that have that same story where it's like, man, just smoking cigars, taking deep breaths, that inhale, that exhale, it's memorable.
No, normalcy. I think that's a big thing that I think, look, I never served in the military, but I come from a military family. Normalcy seems to be something that I hear quite a bit is, even something as small as this
Yeah,
for an hour, it brings an hour of normalcy
yeah,
to the ins and outs of just the dangers that you face every day.
absolutely.
Oh my goodness, it's the GOAT, Bob the Cigar Guy. Oh my goodness, the GOAT. Ah,
Hey, Bob, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Bob. I love that guy. Bob is awesome. Yeah, I think that's something that's important that gets lost on, and anybody watching, Cigars for Warrior is one of your if whether, if you don't know which military charities that you may want to donate to or something, I always tell people Cigars for Warriors is one of the best charities out there.
Yeah,
Um, you know, basically goes to the
there you go. We're back.
oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, yeah.
I
Bob's attacking you. So you're good.
I don't know what happened.
No worries.
I was like, what? I saw the glitch and freeze on the screen. It's like, oh no.
You're good.
Yeah, 100% of what not well, almost 100% goes directly to the cause. It doesn't get put into administrators' pockets. It's a good cause and a good charity out there. And last year at TPE, the Harriman Solomon cigar, I was there when they gave the check for $10,000 to Cigars for Warriors. And it was for me, it made me happy that there are such great people in our community that wanted to support such a good charitable cause out there that if you're looking for a military charity to donate to, definitely give Cigars for Warriors a look at. Physical cigars and money, they will put it to good use. And for this way, I'm not used to this camera. This guy, yeah, for this guy, spending an hour after his shift in Iraq with this definitely made a big difference in his life.
Oh, 100%. Not only my life, a shit ton of other people's lives. So definitely, made us kind of like just relax and forget everything else and kind of like be in the moment.
That's good. So what else? So what else makes you stand out from other mobile lounges that are out there?
Yeah. For us, we our our premium, our pretty much our main focal point is the client experience from the first call to the last call. We have a dedicated concierge team that pretty much puts together an experience for you. Like we don't have a cookie cutter where it's just like, hey, this is for you, this is for you, this is for you. We're asking questions because we're curating an experience directly that influences your event, your wedding, your golf outing. And that's a huge thing. Yeah, can you go to the guy across the street and get another pricing? Absolutely. I'm not the cheapest as well. But at the same time, I'm the best bang for your buck in terms of value. Right? We have over 600 five-star reviews. Our concierge team is impeccable. We got Daniel, Caitlin, Jackie, all these wonderful people that take care of you right from the start when you get that call. And we follow up with you and make sure that we understand what's going on. And, we love what we do, right? And for us to support our organization, we just started our own nonprofit called Patriots of the League. We gave around close to $50,000 in, in donations last year. I hope to triple that this year. But yeah, it's just impacting our community in great ways. So, and we're doing this full time. Like this is what I do full time now. It's passion behind us, and we love what we do. Smoking and drinking for a living.
You can't beat it. I would love to get to that point where I could toss the my badge and keys on the boss's desk. Deuces.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd love to get to that point so I could just smoke and drink all day, but unfortunately, I gotta put the boots on
No, you're all good.
every morning and head off to work. But yeah, I agree. Checking out your website, you've. I'm a stickler on websites about ease of use and lots of information because
Yeah.
I'm not very tech savvy. Your website's phenomenal. Lots
Oh,
of information. It's packed full of information. Um, and the contact us. It's like perfect. It's just like, hey, what's your name and your phone number and email, and what do you want to know? Cool. Somebody will be in contact with you shortly. Oh, I like that. That's great.
and listen, man. Like I said, the team that we have, our concierge team, they call on the spot. They ask you awesome questions. It's a full great experience, and that's what I would say. From the first call to the last call, we're with you to the end. And we want to make sure that on your wedding day, whatever time, say it's 9 p.m., you go outside, we're there, we're ready to rock and roll. And you have nothing to worry about. And like I said, this is what I do full time. This is what I am passionate about. This is what we do. I left my job in good graces, right? April of this past year, and like this year, 1,100 events that we did. Already.
That is so awesome, man. Congratulations. I mean, hard work and grinding pays off, and I think it shows, especially by reading some of the reviews on Google out there. I mean,
Thank you.
you have people who love you. You've got, hey, this is my third time using these guys for an event. They're professional. They're nice. They bring awesome cigars. So, one question that I ask all my guests is, do you remember the first cigar you ever smoked?
Yeah, bro. I see this on the show. Like I said, the first cigar I ever smoked. Now, okay, let's define a cigar now. a premium cigar, right? Because then, you could get Black and Mild was like the first.
Yeah, I'm not asking. Yeah, nothing that could double as a rolling a blunt with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how about we start off with that one first, and then I'll move on to the premium. When growing up, didn't touch tobacco at all. It just so happened some of the vets that are watching, you gotta have a little dabble in tobacco. So I remember it was back in infantry school. We had, the Black and Miles, the cherries. Bro, I can't smoke those now, but dude, they give. You know what, bro? If I smell that, I get a memory back of when I first had it. So we're 18. Yeah, man, I was 18. I didn't smoke cigars. None of my friends smoked cigars, but like you're in the field and you're like some cat got some nice Black and Miles, and you're like, oh yeah, let me do it. And they're like, don't inhale. I'm like, gotcha. And then what my first cigar was in Iraq. Like I said, we had a box that was sent out to us. We had a couple cigars in there. I tried, smoked it, and just hung out. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was smoking. Oh hell, they could have been dried as hell. But you know what, bro? I enjoyed that moment. Sometimes, that's why I love what I do now. It's because I surround myself with a lot of veterans and first responders. We understand each other, and we have a great time with it. But yeah, and here's the thing, Dan. I can't remember what cigar it was. I wish everyone asked me all these questions. I was like, "Do you remember your first cigar?" I remember, but I don't remember the brand. So I could have been smoking like I don't know some garbage stuff, but I was like, whatever.
Mine was a Padron 2000 natural.
Whoa, see, bro, I don't remember. Dude, if I could rewind time and just like Snapchat it and like put it up, I would love to do it. But like I said, man, we're 20 something. We're overseas, bro. We don't know what next day looks like. We could be on patrol, going to the next fob town, and before you know it, life is over. So I was
Yeah.
enjoying every moment of it.
Living your best life in that moment.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
that's important. Um, my cousin put together a diary from my grandpa during World War II because he kept a on everything. Here's a guy who ran 63 successful bombing missions in the Pacific Theater,
Wow.
was shot down 3 times and still got back into a plane again for the Army Air Force.
Wow.
But one thing that always stood in my mind reading was there was a 2 week, there was nothing written for 2 weeks, and then he wrote in there, finished leave in Australia. The women are very nice, and nice was in quotes.
He's like dot dot dot. And
Yeah,
then,
that was it. That was the only entry for the day.
hey man,
Back from 2 weeks in Australia, the women are nice.
hey man, you can snapshot that. You can put it now. You can put it back then. Same deal.
It was.
He was just a young, under 20, young 20s, young man.
Actually, my grandpa lied about his age because he was too old.
Oh.
He was over 30, but they needed pilots, and here's a guy who was a pilot, but the Army wouldn't take him because he was too old, so he said he was 28, so that he could get in, and then after that spent the next 20 years between the Army Air Force and the Air Force.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
Your grandfather's a hero, bro, because he lied about his age because he wanted to be a part.
He did what he thought was right. He wanted to protect the American way of life, and he was sent to the Pacific because he's Italian, and so he wasn't sent to Europe because of that. Because
Yeah, yeah. If you know your world history.
if you know your world history, there, yeah, But yeah, he was scheduled to be done with his tour, and he backtalked his CO, and his CO told him he had to go do another tour of duty.
Oh, sucks.
And but yeah, 63 successful bombing runs.
Yeah. Crazy,
For the average guy, if they did 3, that was.
Yeah, that's great. Fun fact, I just learned this recently, because being in the Marine Corps, in the Pacific operations, the European operations, the Air Force actually has the most more casualties than Marines in Pacific operations. Because if you think about it, an airplane has what, 8 to 10 people in it?
Yeah.
Airmen? That thing goes down. It's one, it's crazy, man. Yeah. Just learning
Do,
about that whole history is crazy.
do you want do you watch the any war movies?
Yeah, I went to school for history. So it's always great. I like learning about different parts of military history, because you see things of, when you go to war or you go to these different countries. Bob, 75. Bob, Marine? Love it, dude. Uh, when you go to combat or go to war operations and you see different parts of the world, man. Like right now, dude, I'm in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, smoking a cigar, chilling. I'm not even thinking about if anything's gonna happen, right? That's the least of my worries. But you go to those countries and you get a whole different aspect of perspective of what you have, what you should be grateful for.
Yeah, for sure. You know, do you critique more modern war movies out there? Oh, we would never do that. Oh, that's so.
Yeah, man, Hollywood puts a twist on everything. And Bob, early '80s, nice. We call it the old breed right there. And then he probably had his old breed. He knows what I'm talking about. Bob, man, good stuff, man. Paris Island, I hope. So, but yeah, no. Listen, maybe those future war movies, I guess. But dude, I just watch it, and some of the movies that just came out, or even like the 2000s, 2010s, of just telling people stories. When you get away from the Hollywood and you actually read about their stories, you're just like, man, incredible stuff. Incredible stuff.
Yeah, it is. So back to the Mobile Cigar Lounge. One question that some people that I hear from people is they actually think that you're a rolling cigar lounge itself. Like you've got a bus and they come on in and smoke. I don't think they understand the concept. Do you actually? So is that something you explain a lot out to? Is like no.
Yeah, totally, totally. I mean, we do have a 1973 airstream. Absolutely, I know Hollywood here. So he came from Paris Island. Good stuff, Bob. Same here. They're battalion. So, when people ask, hey, is it rolling? We'll be I'm like, hey, listen, especially in New Jersey, right? We're talking about Northeast. You got these beautiful venues that have these beautiful outdoor patios. I mean, I'm talking about fire pits, great view of the city, just the atmosphere. Bro, just give me a spot and I'll make it happen. That's what it's good to our line. But yeah, we do have a 1973 Airstream, 32 foot that's coming out right in the springtime. We have a lot of inquiries for that, so we're too excited to quote unquote roll it out. But it's definitely going to be a good thing. But yeah, it's when people see it and they check out our social media, they can see what we do.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So, do you carry other brands in with what you have, or is it just strictly your house blends that you guys create?
Yep, yes and yes. So one is if they want something particular, yeah, I got my licenses. I could go and find box for you. But particularly we use our house blends. Like last year alone, we did over 100,000 of our cigars that we just put out and give us reference. So,
That's awesome.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
It's such a great experience. Last year I went to a wedding last year, and they had a roller. They had a roller there, and it piqued my interest. I spent the whole time just talking with the roller.
nice.
I could care less about the wedding and stuff.
Yeah,
I was just more interested in the roller and what he was rolling and picking his brain on stuff. That's me. It's like, hey, there's a wedding. Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I'm not the dancer. I just want to come here and smoke and have a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I smoked a little too much.
yeah, no worries.
That's like, ooh.
That's a great night. That's great.
It was a good night. Banging numbers. Yeah, man. I mean, those are banging numbers, dude. You definitely have all your ducks in a row when it comes to what you want, and adding that personal concierge service to just kind of, it's the cherry on top to really provide top notch experience to people who may or may not be ingrained into the culture itself, but just want something fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to be that guy, kind of like that gateway. I mean, people we talk to, it's like, oh, I don't smoke cigars, but I'll go when I celebrate stuff. I'm like, yeah, we're your guys, we're your guys. And we just want to be a gateway and just be an eye opener to people. Because anytime there's times where we meet people and we meet at Cigar Lounge and we became friends. There's clients that have become friends because it's such a great culture. Man, a lot of people, like you and I, Daniel, and people here that are watching, we've had some amazing conversations. Met some incredible people over this. Over, what did you say? A bundle of dead leaves.
Yes, that's right. It's just dead plant matter. That's all it is. It's dead plant matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta admit, some of the best times I can remember in the last 20 years have been just hanging out, smoking with people.
Yeah, yeah.
When I am at a lounge, I tend to be one of the few blue collared guys out there that's in the lounge, and so the white collar people tend to want to pick my brain about what it's like to work manual labor, and so, it's always a fun time because at the end of the day, it's just good conversation, politics, religion, everything. It's out the door. You're just enjoying something together. You can find a common ground on something.
Absolutely. And you know what, man? I know those are very touchy subjects, but I've had some incredible conversations in those particular topics. But very civil. Just like, and I'm just sitting there.
That's because this was involved. If this wasn't involved, you'd be going blows.
Oh, yeah. It was like a gentleman's match of just like going back and forth. And I was like, this is the greatest conversation or debate that I've heard. I've been there just drinking. All of a sudden they start going, but there's a time and place for that. But I've been there when it's happened. I'm just like, it's pretty dope. People are just putting ideas like, in those things where it's like, hey, we can agree, disagree. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. You can, and I think that there's it's not common, but I guess you could say it is common. But a lot of that stuff, it's kind of left at the door. You're not there to debate or get into it with somebody. You're there just to enjoy a smoke and have a good conversation with somebody that you probably would have never met otherwise.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's super cool. So what else are you into other than cigars?
Cigars, whiskey, Scotch in particular. Scotch guy. We had four including me. They're over in Scotland in August. Checked out the lowlands. Scotland is a beautiful area. I would recommend anyone there. I've been to Louisville. I went to that bourbon trail, which is nice. I love those things. And food, man. If people can't see me, I'm a big dude. Like, I like food. Listen, you got good company, good food, drinks, mugs. I'm like, bro, I'm good. Like, that's all I need right now.
Yes, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always cooking. I think it's being Italian. It's like ingrained in your blood. It's just like gotta cook, gotta.
Yeah.
Always, even if I don't have, it's like what I made enough for 6 people, but it's just me. Let's see. To both of you, what is your average cigar intake per day? My average is 10. Good cigars and some crappy cheap ones till my taste buds are blown.
Damn, Ben's been smoked. Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe, this is my first one of the day because I've been in the airport.
This is my first one of the day. Some days 3, maybe 4. Some days none.
When's the most you've ever had? That's a great question.
When I go to trade shows.
And how many? What's the most?
Oh, geez. Like, they're probably 12 to 15 a day.
Yeah.
At trade shows. Like, my palate is blown by the time I get done. I won't smoke for 2 weeks just to reset my palate, man. It's just like, it's gone. Like, I can't, everything just, there's no taste. Food has no taste to it. Everything, it's shot.
Your tongue is like burnt rubber.
Yeah, it's just
going through the motions. 15.
15's a big number. When you're at the trade show, that's all you're doing is smoking, because everywhere you go, cigars are going everywhere. So you light up, and I'm not one to want to waste a cigar, so I gotta smoke it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to dump it, And I do interviews. And of course they're giving me cigars, and I'm like,
I see Benro here. He goes, he's got a problem.
I think you got a problem.
Ben, you know what I'm saying, bro? It's better than you doing like heroin 15 times a day. You know what I'm saying?
There's worse habits you could have out there.
Yeah.
I tend to, trade shows. I tend to do I tend to smoke a lot at the trade shows, because on the floor you're smoking all day. And then you go to the club, you go to the cigar clubs and the after parties, and you're smoking while you're there, so it's non-stop smoking, because there's cigars flying everywhere at you, and
you can smoke anywhere,
and you can smoke anywhere, and it's just, I tried to control myself at PCA and limit my intake, and it didn't work.
Oh, did you get sick?
What'd you say?
Did you get sick?
No, I didn't. I don't get sick.
It's funny. So I did my first cigar here in Miami. I got to meet some incredible people. I think I smoked like 7 or 8, like in a night, in like only like a matter of like 4 or 5 hours. And the thing that and I remember I started feeling it. Because it's bad. Anyone that knows, it's I had my buddy. I was smoking a cigar, and then he's like, "Hey, you want to go to it's called Empire Social over there in Brickell, Miami?" He's like, "Hey, let's go over there. Let's have a cigar." I'm like, "All right, no problem." We get there. I sit down, and I'm like feeling it. And he goes, "Hey, man, you want to smoke?" And I go, "Nah, brother. I just got here. I'm just chilling. I'll be here for the whole weekend." But in my head, I'm like, dude, blow my brains out. I'm not like, kill myself. And then he's like, do you want a drink, bro? I'm like, you know what, bro? I just got in. I just flew in this morning. I'm just going to grab a water. Not all weekend. And he's like, playing it cool. But in my head, I'm just like, I'm dying. Kill me. but a good thing is to drink like a Coke or sugar drink.
I tend to bring a lot of water with me events, and I'm keeping hydrated. So I think that's one reason why I tend to not get sick. Ben.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's why I think I tend to not get sick. I'm constantly, I got the fluids going. I'm drinking water all day while I'm out on the floor. It's Vegas, so I'm getting my $9 bottle of water. And so do you do trade shows at all?
Yeah, I was just talking about PCA. I'm sure we just missed each other. I do trade shows, which is great. Man, this is such an incredible. We're very grateful for what we do. So then I get to meet Carlito, Nicodermo, Johnson, a lot of the big names that you see, and then also get to meet a lot of the people that are up and coming. I make it a mission, just like you, Daniel. I'll go to, we have a lot of cigar lounges in New Jersey. I like to go to the places and find the cigar that I haven't tried before. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like Scotch, whiskey, bourbon. There's hundreds and thousands out there that you want to try them.
I was, when they were doing that Padron Fuente release there at PCA.
Yeah.
everybody was all smashed in and people lost their spot. I kind of had one of those front row seats, and so I went live on Instagram, and there were people who were there telling me I was watching your stream because I couldn't see anything. You had a great. I was like people were trying to bump me out of the way, and I'm like, no, I'm.
Yeah.
Try and move me from this spot.
Yeah.
I've been standing here for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I'm a big dude, so I'm just like.
You could bully your way in.
Yeah. No, when I held my spot, people would bully. I'm like, "You serious, bro? Like, what are you gonna get?" You're like right on my leg.
Did you go to the Fuente? Did you go to that Fuente thing that they did?
Yeah. So I was. So where that thing where the boxer unveiling was, I think there was like a little back spread wall. I was like right there at the corner. So if you were like looking at them directly, I was to the right.
Now, did you go to the Fuente retailer event that they had?
No, I did not.
Okay, so I went and I got one of the 250 Fuente sticks that were specially made for the event.
Oh, beautiful.
No, I haven't smoked it yet.
Ah, yeah, smoke it, bro.
Not yet, because Carlito said he likes it, but he wants to tweak the blend. So if he puts that stick out, I'll smoke them together and compare.
Love it.
And compare. So it'll get smoked. But I had people offering me $1,000 for that stick.
Mm.
And I started. I was like, oh, $1,000 is.
$20 is $20.
Yeah, but it was good because I'm sitting there, and I'm smelling it, and I'm smelling the aroma around, and I go, "This is a Cameroon wrapper," and I go, "I think there's Sumatra somewhere in here because I can smell it, and I can smell it in the aroma from everybody smoking." And so Jose Blanco goes, "So this has a double wrapper, a double binder, and 9 fillers in it." And I was like, holy cow. He goes, so the double wrappers are a Mexican Sumatra and African Cameroon. And I was like, oh my, I could have raised my hand and asked that, and I could have blown away Jose Blanco.
Nice.
I could have been that guy in there, but I didn't say, I just sat back and I was enjoying it. I hid my badge around so it didn't show that I was media, since it was supposed to be retail only.
Yeah, you're good, man. I get the appreciate, and I'm sure that they, got a lot of great value if you did that.
But that was a really fun event. I enjoyed it. Are you going to be out for TPE this year?
I'm probably out for a PCA. We'll see. We have. It's a big year for us. We're coming out of 1,100 events. I want to triple that this year. So.
So do you go to? Is just to make contacts within the industry, not so much to buy cigars, or to buy raw tobacco materials.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
I go there. I met with some people. We got some custom ashtrays done. So it was there. We made some awesome selections and got some pictures, made it feel. Got to meet some people that we know through the social media world, where it's like, get to meet them in person. So it's pretty cool.
I don't know how you missed me. I was I had the hat going.
I know, bro. Dude, there's a lot of people, and I was just like a kid in a candy store. I was just walking around. I spent 3 days just hanging out at the booths with my friends in the industry smoking. No.
And then the last day, I had 3 hours before I had to get to the airport, and so I marathoned it. I marathoned interviews in 3 hours because I didn't do anything for the 3 prior days.
Oh, good.
I was just like, yeah. I was like, hey, can I get a quick interview? Because they do it so different than how TPE does it.
Yeah.
TPE, if you've never been there, TPE, you actually have a scheduled calendar, so I can say, all right, so with Mac, I want to do an interview with him from 9 to 9:15, and then he can accept it or go, hey, can you do 10 to 10:15? And I go, well, I can do that. At PCA, it's just a free for all, and since they don't have special times for the media to get in, like I have an hour at TP, I get in an hour before the event. PCA, I get an hour into the event, but I also get in there with 3,000 other people, retailers who bought the VIP package.
Right.
So for me to get in and do an interview, it's super hard, and I don't want to interrupt businesses from trying to make money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
other than distributors there that want to.
I just want to get 5-10 minutes of your time, but you got that 5 to 10 minutes of time could have made you a big sale. I don't want to interrupt that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. I love going to the trade shows. I think they're definitely they're definitely a great experience if you can go. If you know somebody that can get you in, it's totally worth going, because I think you learn a lot and you see a lot. And of course, like Mac and I, we've maybe smoked cigars before they've ever been released out to you guys. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you if it was good or not because my palate was shot, but I smoked it.
Yeah. Your palate will be shot after that.
I tend to try and stay with Connecticut's and more milder stuff at the trade shows and not go with the heavy stuff. Just because, again, that burned out palate, it's like, what's this? Okay, I'll smoke this one later when I don't want to smoke something big and heavy. But unfortunately, sometimes that's what they give you and that's what they want you to smoke. And I'm just like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is or not. My palate's shot, just so you're aware, but I'll smoke it.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of new companies too trying to push their product out. Respect to them. So you want to try everything out.
I loved seeing all of the new companies, the boutique and the small brands there this year. That was such a nice change of pace. I don't like that they throw them all in the back of that convention center.
Correct. Yeah.
But
right.
It was such a nice change of pace to see them out there and to get the and finally the love that they really deserve to get, because they put in a lot of hard work.
Oh, absolutely. Even the PCA team, I don't talk about the PCA because I've only been there, not TPE. But they put in a lot of hard work and to organize that. So kudos to them. That whole team did a wonderful job.
Do you sell your house blends direct to consumers?
Yeah. So people go on our website. It's the mobilecigarlounge.com, and they get our house blends there.
And anybody watching on Facebook or on YouTube, if you go click and expand down the description area, there's a link to everything the Mobile Cigar Lounge and Mac, so you can follow along in his journey and the company's journey, and you can check out the website. And apparently they're looking at hitting all 50 states to bring an experience to. He's got a couple more territories to hit.
Oh yeah!
I want to see you in the Mariana Islands.
Bring me, buy me. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in Guam. I want
and Samoa.
Yeah, I want to hit all of them up. Fun fact: St. Croix. If you look at it as that is the most. There's a part called Point Udall, which is the most eastern part of the United States territory. So, that's good there, and it's pretty dope. But yeah, I want to cover all four corners.
You cover it all, man. That's good. That's super cool. I think it's just, this whole thing fascinates me about this, because I didn't quite understand how it worked as a whole,
Yeah.
but now I've got a greater idea of
Yeah,
how it goes. And I really think it's awesome for an event, especially if you're looking at wanting to put an event on,
yeah,
um, to have it because it's something that's different and unique and definitely a memorable experience. Because like I said, from that wedding, the only thing I remember from the wedding was the cigar roller.
uh, you know what, man? I meet with uh, people who've attended, but just like yourself, who are not cigar smokers. Like, man, I don't smoke cigars. The last one I smoked was at my best friend's wedding. Boom, I want that, right? And Steve is probably watching as well. Steve Newman putting together, brought us together, mobile cigar lounges from around the country, share ideas, help grow. I've met some of them personally, bought stuff out of their, mobile lounges, given some advice, got to share some awesome experiences together. So, shout out to them too, because they're out there hustling and grinding as well. So, but Steve put an incredible group together. He's working next to you and I, Daniel. So, hopefully we definitely go smoke. We'll bump into each other this year, so it'll be good. Uh,
You'll see me, man. I'm
yeah,
all around. We do. I do. Like I said, I go to a few of the festivals. I hit the big trade shows. But really, when I go to the festivals, I'm not there to work. I'm just there to have fun. But and meet up with people and just Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest this year was awesome.
yeah,
We we went down to Ryan from Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. We went to his house the night before. There was a big barbecue. Some of the brands showed up over at his house, hung out. We smoked and drank and we just had a fantastic time, and it's like those types of experiences that I think some people who are always on the fence on whether or not they should go, I gotta tell you, just go. Just go.
yeah,
Just go. Look, it's worth the expense and the cost because you're gonna have such a good time, and you're gonna run into people who you know on social media that you may have never met before. You
absolutely.
know, and they show up. Like I'm still floored that regular people see me and they want to take a picture with me. I'm like, me? Really? Why? Why? It's like, dude, can I get a picture with you? I'm like, me? Huh, okay.
Hey
All
man,
right.
you made an impact. Okay, bro.
I mean, I'm honored. It's just, I guess I don't see myself the way that viewers see me as.
Yeah,
I see myself as one of them. Like I still nerd out.
yeah,
I geek out when I meet industry people, especially industry people who have cigars that I love. I
yeah,
still geek out. I mean, I go crazy, kicking back and talking to these people. I fanboy out. People always comment about, meeting Luis Cuevas last year at TPE, and I was totally fanboyed out in that interview.
love it.
I was just like, your cigars are so great and wonderful, and you're just, I love
Love it, man.
I still nerd out. I'm a fan. I try not to make this all work 100% of the time.
Yeah, but guess what, man? That's being authentic yourself, bro. Who cares, bro? You nerd out. I nerd out too, bro. So it's and a lot of us do too. So I never put that away. I'll nerd out.
Well, so with this Mobile Cigar Lounge Association that Steve put together and brought in, have you been learning new things that you can bring to the market from other lounges out there?
Yeah, it's an incredible group where we can share some ideas. There's stuff I've done. There's stuff that I haven't done. There's stuff that people are doing that I haven't tried yet. So what's great about business as a whole is being an entrepreneur. You're just continuously improving your system, right? I don't think anyone has a perfect system in the group. We're just continuously improving each and every time.
Yeah,
It's nice.
I I think that's good though. There's always room for learning and to try and be better. No, I don't think you'll ever have it down to be perfect, but you can probably get pretty close. I would imagine that, you know. So it's nice that you're sharing information and sharing resources. The one thing I find on the media side is some media and content creators don't want to share anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like I don't want your secret sauce. I don't do the same thing you do. I'm not competition with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are a few out there that if I have an idea, I want to, hey, I'll run it by them and just go, hey, here's my idea. What do you think of it? Oh, that's a bad idea, or that's a good idea, or maybe if you change it, oh, okay, great. Some people you can do that to, some you can't, but it's nice that the majority of the people in the group want to share the resources and share what they've learned.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great. I get to meet with other entrepreneurs in the scene too that don't have mobile cigar lounges. Excuse me. That I can talk to and get some information from. So it's always great. It's always a great community to work with.
Well, but you're a true American success story. You had an idea. You and your buddies got together and made it happen, and now you're successful. You're successful because you got to the point with your success that you could quit your day job and just do this.
I grind it out, bro. There's as much as I love drinking and smoking, there's a lot of hours behind the computer, a lot of hours traveling, meeting, greeting. So we hustle and we put the time in.
That's awesome. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love the grind, and when people grind it out, good things happen because you're not taking a shortcut. You're taking the hard. I'm sure you had failures when you started, and you capitalized on those failures to turn them into something that was positive, that continued to grow the success.
Yeah, just learning points. I'm not saying that our journey was always great. We've learned along the way. We just did a lot of it. Back September, October, I'm pumping out 50 events a week. That's a lot of logistics for people.
Oh, that's a huge logistics.
But you know what? Being in the military, well, my strong points. So we're able to do 50 events, crank them out every week.
Well, you're able to get, you've got, you got that military background where we're not going to figure it out as we go. We're gonna be strategic. We're gonna plan it, and then we're gonna have contingencies in place. You're just not winging it out there, and I think that's something important that I think a lot of people fail at.
Yeah.
What's one of your biggest pieces of advices that you could give?
One, so I've always played sports, music. I've always had mentors in my life. Get a business mentor. Get someone that can help you out. That's 100 steps ahead of you. Business is the same mechanics in any business. You got to market, you got to do sales, you got to network, you got to build certain processes. Find someone, find a mentor. I invest into business coaches. I invest into growing our business, which is why we did over 1,100 events, which is why we have a team of 65 plus. We donated $50,000 in local nonprofits. December of last month broke over $1 million in sales. Thank you, brother. There's a lot of hard work into it, and I don't say that to boast. I do that because someone right now is watching. It's like, yeah, it can be done. We've done it, and our goal is to triple it this year and be impactful to our community as well.
Now, on the opposite side, what was one of the best pieces of advice you got?
One of the best pieces of advice I got. I just through the military career and through business. You get to the top of the mountain, you're never at the top. You're just at another level. And he says a good way to be there is to give a hands up to someone else. We volunteer. I lead a group of, I volunteer for Bunker Labs. It's a veteran entrepreneurship that helps businesses grow from idea to start. I volunteer and give my time to teach 8 veteran entrepreneurs on how to grow their business. I go to a high school that teaches it's a Leo program over in Don Bosco in New Jersey. I go teach them about business and share my stories as an entrepreneur. So I'm everywhere. I'm touching everything because as my journey grows, I can impact someone else's journey. And when you have that kind of heart and that kind of mission, bro, anything is attainable. So,
Anything is achievable.
oh, totally.
That is really good advice. Even you know, anything's achievable. It's all a matter of how much hard work you put in. If you're willing to grind it out, and
Bro, you know what's great, man? You could have a mobile cigar lounge business. You could have an event once a week, once a month. If you're happy with that, bro, I'm happy for you. You know what I'm saying? We're grinding out 50. There could be someone out there grinding out 100 a week, right? It's different levels. Hey, I never judge anyone that wants to be at a certain level. You want to grow, you got to grow. You got to run with big boys, big gals. But if you're happy with, hey man, I just want to do one event a month. This is my passion project. I just love doing it. Hey, good for you. That's not me. That's not my business. But just like you were saying, Daniel, like that's not how I do my business. Not how I do my media. But I appreciate the grind and respect, and what you're doing. So
well, thank you. It's
yeah,
it, I had I had a bit of a struggle when I started because I didn't quite know what to do, and I didn't ask people for help, and I didn't want my what I was doing to be like everybody else's, and I probably should have asked people.
yeah. And
And
that's one thing that we learned as veterans, unfortunately. When I feel that's like a big talking point of our position is, man, there's so many resources out there that can help and reach out to. Go ask someone for help. Or when I started off my business, I asked a bunch of business owners, hey, how do you start your business? How do you do this? How do you do that? I love asking questions. Love asking questions.
I ask tons of questions now. I learned the hard way, and I think if I could go back, it's hard to say if you could go back would you change because I think I learned a lot of valuable information and a lot of skills that I probably wouldn't have had or would have done had I not screwed up in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I'm all I don't consider myself to be a professional at this.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm always willing if somebody's got questions. I'll answer questions for them if they have it. But the biggest thing that I tell people when they go, I go, you got to be consistent. And the problem is inconsistency in this. Why do I want to watch your podcast? Why do I want to watch your review? If you do one review this week and I don't see you for 3 weeks and then you come back with 2 and then you're gone again for a month, you're not consistent. You're not giving me a reason to want to stick around and watch what you're doing.
Yeah. Agreed.
Even when I'm off, like last week, I said there's not going to be any videos out next week. There's not. I'm still pumping out content though on Instagram. I'm still doing stuff. I'm just not. I'm not seeing a lot.
Yeah.
So, well, Mac, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you hanging out with us. I appreciate you. You tons of great information there about mobile cigar lounges, why you need one for your event, why you need to call Mac over at the Mobile Cigar Lounge, and have him come and cater your next event with delicious mouthhole pleasures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out there. Anything you wanna promote or talk about here in the final minutes of the show?
Yeah, well, Daniel, first off, thank you so much for sharing our story. And, shout out to Steve who put this together. The community is fantastic. It's awesome. But for us, once again, Joey Mack, a.k.a. The Smoking Pan, the Chief Smoking Officer for the Mobile Cigar Lounge. Come check us out at Instagram, Facebook. We do funny reels. Make sure you're following the 505, right? The cigar review as well. If you're having an event, a wedding, private party, come contact us. We would love to be there. Our dedicated concierge team takes care of you, like I was saying before, from the first call to the last puff. We want to be there for your big event. So thank you, Daniel, for everything. Check out our website, www.themobilecigarlounge.com.
Excellent. And again, if you're on Facebook or YouTube watching this, or if you're catching the replay over on Rumble, down in the description, links to everything the Mobile Cigar Lounge out there. So I've got you all covered, so that way you can't say you didn't know where to get in contact with them at.
Awesome. Thank you, bro.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. There will be no show next Monday because it is a holiday, and I'm traveling. So, but we will be back the following week. So, I know. I give you one show and then I'm off. I talked about consistency, and here I am. Inconsistency right there on it. Going. But tomorrow night, I recommend anybody, if you want to come check out Ryan and I, Raw Cigar Reviews over on my IG Live. We have Alan Sombria from Family by Loyalty Cigars will be our guest. We will be live reviewing a cigar from Family by Loyalty and interviewing and talking with Alan. I love Alan. He is a close friend of mine. I hope this is a good cigar because it'll be it'll be really awkward if it's not a good cigar.
He's a good dude. I met him over at Tampa. Alan, he's born and raised in New York. Puerto Rican, Norican.
Norican, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Alan's such a good dude. I love him. So come check that out, 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Eastern on my IG Live. Ryan from Rocky Mountain Cigar Show and myself. And I appreciate it. And everybody, thank you so much. We will be back in 2 weeks with the Cigar Buddha and the Cigar Buddha Mobile Lounge. Get another take. He does his business a little bit differently than how Mac does his business. So, kind of going to give you a little bit of how everything's done within the mobile cigar industry here in the next couple weeks. So, till next time, guys, thank you so much. Take care. Be safe out there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do or Mac wouldn't do. And we will see you next time. Peace out, everybody.